Hey guys, what's going on? Jake here, and welcome back to another episode of the F124 Driver Career Mode. And today we are having the Canadian Grand Prix in Montreal, and it is race 5, I'm pretty sure, I'd like to say. But yeah, last time at Imola, we had a poor race. We went for a poor strategy with incorrect weather conditions. But first of all, to start this episode, we have a secret meeting. But it's with Williams, so we're going to decline those talks, hence why we're not going to cover that too much. If it was a more interesting team, maybe we would have considered, but no, it's not going to progress our career to go to Williams. We're probably in the quickest team outside the big four right now. 5, should I say, right now. 4, Perez and Stroll.
Okay, mate. I know we were
So yeah, it is what it is. But we're going to see that a durability upgrade has once again failed, which means that another upgrade has failed at the first time of asking, but we're going to put on some weight reduction, it seems like. Yes, we are, and that'll come in time for the Spanish Grand Prix, potentially. Or we could put on something else, but I think it'll end up just being that weight reduction upgrade, which it is. So, yeah, without further ado, let's see what the weather's going to be like for this weekend. It's going to be raining in qualifying. But it looks like it's going to be into conditions because, as you would have seen last episode in Imola, when it was wet, we were awful. We qualified P20, but in the Inters, we were quite good in Miami in Q3. So, yeah, let's just see how we do. It's going to be a case of if things change and stuff like that. So, yeah, we are in practice now. We are on our 3rd out of 3 laps for the race strategy race program, which is the one I do at every single circuit, just to kind of get used to my car at the circuit. And then obviously we do quick sims for practice 2 and practice 3, but we nail that pretty easily. And yeah, in the end I felt like we had some actual decent pace on those practice programs, which was quite a good thing, obviously. So, and the AI is still 101, by the way. We have not moved it down. It's still 101 AI right now. And then overall in that practice session on the mediums, only 6 tenths off the quickest time, which is maybe good. But yeah, into the admin stuff before we get into quali. We are going to pick ourselves up after quick simming the rest of the sessions, the full 300 points, which is very, very nice. And we're also going to gain a little bit of experience, not quite getting up to 56 experience yet. But as you can see there, my pace is my biggest strength, which, yeah, I would agree. My quali pace is like my biggest strength because I qualify well, but then obviously the AI straight line speed on this game is crazy, because in previous games I'd run low wings every track compared to the AI and I'd just hold position and defend in a straight line. This game it's not possible. This game you actually need to have half decent pace, so yeah. And we are going to bring in a engine power upgrade, which will come in time for the power circuits of Belgium and Spa, but it is going to miss out Austria, Spain and Great Britain only just, which is a triple header, which I'm actually kind of looking forward to. I'm not looking forward to Spain. Maybe on this year's game it will be better to drive than last year, but we'll have to wait and see. That back straight is going to absolutely kill me. Can't wait. But into quali we go on our first lap, so we can't really expect much from our first lap. It'll probably be a little bit scruffy here and there. There'll probably be a lot of inconsistencies. I'll probably think this is quite a quick time, but it probably won't be. So, yeah, Logan Sargent sets a 1:11.7, I think that was. Ricardo sets a 1:10.9. The Visa Cash App is the only team in between us and Aston Martin in terms of R&D right now. So, if we're looking for anyone to maybe be a target with Hulkenberg, if we're looking for maybe Hulkenberg, our AI teammate, to be near anyone, it'd be like Daniel Ricciardo and Tsunoda. So into the second half of the lap now, coming into the hairpin. This hairpin is very difficult on this game. In previous games, it was the place where I'd gain the most time compared to the AI. Now I say I'd lose a tenth at that hairpin compared to the AI, because if you get on the power too early, you spin, you step out. This is a very hard corner to navigate now with the new handling model. Probably a bit more realistic, but you know what, it is what it is. Into the final hairpin, we go a little bit deep, we clip the wall, and that is a poor run through the last corner. We do graze the wall of champions, but it is going to get us P2 for now. But by the end of the session, we then make a hash of the hairpin, but we're already through, so it's not going to be too much of a concern for us. We're just going to concede on this lap, turn off the RS, go up to the line, because I can't be bothered to wait for my engineers to take me into the pits. And overall, it's going to be P9 for this session, which I'm not going to cry about. 3 times quicker than Ricardo's time of a 1:10.9, which is, you know, I feel like quite realistic. But, you know, we ended up getting P9. And I'd like to see how far we were off Max Verstappen, but I'm not sure how long that the thing's going to be up for. Hopefully a little bit, so I can see how far off we were from Max. We were 5 tenths off Max, which isn't too bad. So into Q2, first lap. We've skipped the first part of the lap because this is on a scrub set of tyres. Oh no, actually, that last session I went out on a fresh set of tyres for that first lap, and then I went out on the same set of tyres just in case I needed to do another lap. Didn't end up needing to do one, so we have 2 sets of fresh tyres because it should be raining in Q3 according to the weather we saw at the end of practice. So we can use both of our fresh sets of softs here, and then we should have a set of softs for the race potentially, but a little spoiler, they don't give me the fresh set for some reason. We send it a bit better into the final corner. Obviously, yes, I do have normal track limits on, but do I care? No. The AI would be absolutely crazy if I wasn't able to cut that last chicane a little bit more. So, you know, is what it is. But here we go. We're currently P7 onto our final lap of Q2. And I think that the AI are just finishing their laps now, or have just finished their laps now, which means we are through to the next part of qualifying in P7, but we do have another fresh set of softs, so let's see what we can do with a good lap time. We get a nice run through there, gaining about a tenth through the first sector. It's going to be a green first sector. We have set purples before, but it's going to be a nice run through that section there, and we gain up to 2 tenths, and now we're going to get slipstream off Pierre Gasly, and we're going to deploy, get an extra bit of slipstream, which gives us another, I'd say, tenth, which just shows how powerful it is. We then take that nicely as well. Nice run through there, up now by 4 tenths pretty much, which is fantastic. Into the hairpin, purple middle sector, which is not a sector I normally get a purple in. So this is just on for a really good lap. We do lose about half a tenth through that hairpin, but up to the Wall of Champions now. We do end up getting a better run though out of that corner. We've now got 25% of ERS left as well. Use up to the line. Up to the line we go. Boom. Take the final chicane relatively nicely, and it is going to gain us up to almost 4 tenths, more like 3.5 because we've ran out of ERS. But that is going to be enough to make us the quickest man in qualifying 2, which means there's still a little bit of time here and now on the table, and we get it by a tenth. We are the only man, like, you know, that's far away from everyone else, which is crazy, especially in a Haas and on 100 AI. But as I said into Q3, it was going to be wet. You might be wondering why I'm 17 seconds up, and I did accidentally delete the clip, but it's because I span and then got wing damage on my first lap on the first corner. So I was like, you know what, we've got loads of time, loads of sets of tyres, so we may as well just do a lap with this wing damage anyway, so we get a better delta, so I can feel more positive about myself when I qualify P10. So yeah, here we are, currently 18.5 seconds up on our previous best lap time, which is lovely, because obviously we didn't, you know, fully try on it when we span. We were just kind of cooling the tyres down. The final chicane though was taken a little bit cautiously, especially that first turn in, the right turn in. That was quite poor. We actually lose time a little bit in that final sector, but it is going to be a 21.1, which is currently 10th, which just isn't really good enough at this moment in time. But into the final lap of Q3, that transition was crazy, by the way. I kind of even forgot that we were switching over lap times, that like we were switching to another lap, because I just thought it was one lap and we were continuing. But yeah, now we've changed the wing, we've got new tyres on, we do clip that wall there, but we still gain 5 tenths, 6 tenths. That wing damage was very, very hindering to us. We're currently a tenth up on Alonso in 6th. Verstappen's down in 7th at the minute, but we have a massive slide through that corner, which is going to cost us a little bit of time, potentially a tenth or 2. So that's going to ruin it. But we come through this corner and we take this corner quite nicely, obviously exceeding track limits a little bit, but you know, it is what it is. And we are now a little bit off on Fernando. We are 2 thousandths down on Fernando. We did lose like 2 tenths in that fucking corner though. That one corner that I absolutely hate. And then coming out the hairpin, we end up gaining a couple tenths as well, which means that we could be on for a good lap time here. We're currently almost a second up, about to go into the final chicane. And let's not touch the Wall of Champions again, please. Let's see how we do. We turn in a little bit earlier this time. We hopefully get a better run, and we do. Up to the line with a really good run. We're going to keep gaining and gaining time. It's going to be 1.4 seconds pretty much. And that is going to put us... Where is that going to put us? P3 on 101 AI on uncertain interconditions. 1.6 tenths off pole. And we lost 2 tenths in one corner. So if I'd have put together a really solid lap, we could have had pole. So, yeah, Lando Norris is going to end up being on pole position. We go up to 72 pace. By far and away my best stat. So for the race, Nico Hulkenberg starts down in P19, which is not ideal, but, you know, maybe he can come through in the race. And I start P2 because of a Lando Norris grid penalty. A 5-place grid penalty for Lando, a change of one component, means that he's now going to start P6. And it's going to be a simple strategy. Everyone else is starting on mediums other than the McLarens, who always start inverted. So we're going to copy the McLarens, who normally do quite well, and we're going to go hard mediums, maybe, because I was kind of optimistic that maybe we could take the hards longer and have a fresh set of softs at the end of the race. No, we weren't given a fresh set of softs, so we're just going to switch on to the mediums. But up to the grid position, we're going to be getting a 0.7, which is quite nice, and should hopefully give us an advantage off the start. But we've got Sainz behind us on mediums, Hamilton ahead of us on mediums, so he probably can be expected to be overtaken off the line. 5 lights and away we go, and yes, as expected, Sainz does get us, but we are able to hold on to position. Piastri is going to look down our inside, but we're just going to shut the door on him quite simply and keep position just behind Sainz and Hamilton. Hamilton on pole, looks like he might be able to win this race potentially. But on to lap 4 now. Piastri has overtaken us. We are going to get a better run out of the final chicane, not even using any ERS. But here we come on Oscar Piastri, using a bit of hot lap just to get a bit of extra speed. We're going to send it down the inside of Oscar Piastri. Nice little move on Oscar. Leave him a little bit of space on the inside, but eventually squeeze him out and get a better run. And up back into P3, into the podium places. And into lap 5 onto 6, we've managed to hold position for quite a while now, actually. We weren't able to break away from the McLarens, obviously. They've got too much straight line speed. But we do try and play a DRS game with Piastri. We just let him through. And the DRS detection point is much earlier than what I thought. And that means we're not going to get DRS. We've got enough DRS, but compared to a car with slipstream and DRS, we are going to have nothing to defend from Lando Norris. So by overtaking Piastri and stupidly giving him DRS, we are going to lose 2 positions, and then Verstappen's just going to fly past us on the mediums eventually. But we are able to hold on there. We had a little snap, so we do have to exceed track limits, but weren't given a warning for it. Verstappen's just going to probably blast past us on the straight. We will get DRS though, so maybe there is a chance of defending. But yeah, no, that's curtains. A little slide, we lose 3 tenths in that chicane, and now it's probably advantageous for us to just let Verstappen through, because if we don't let him through, we're never going to keep with Piastri and Norris. So, yep, see you later, Max, and enjoy. But by lap 15, tyre wear's looking quite good, but we have now dropped off by 4 seconds to the gaggle of cars ahead in the lead fight, and we are 2 seconds ahead of Alonso behind us. So we've just been a little bit slower consistently per lap than everyone else. Eventually, once other drivers pit, we're up into P3, and then once the McLaren's pit, well, the McLaren pits of Piastri, of Norris, we then box on the same lap as Piastri, so we never eventually take the lead of this Grand Prix. In hindsight, looking at it, maybe we could have boxed a lap or 2 earlier, but I wasn't very sure on how the mediums tyre wear would be. It was quite bad in Bahrain, and the hards are just always very good, so I tried to take the hards as long as possible. So in the end, we're going to box in for a set of medium tyres, and we're going to see what we can do at the end of this race. Where are we going to come out? We were P6, I think, before everyone boxed, but we did get massively undercut by Alonso and Leclerc. So let's see how it goes. Oh no, oh no. Alonso and Leclerc are up the road by, it looks like 7 seconds there, and we've got Russell and Stroll just behind us. But on to lap 23, we're now going for our purple lap. So Russell's managed to stick with us on this purple lap, which is fair play to Russell. I know the AI's straight line speed when they have slipstream and DRS is crazy, but that is just mental considering I'm setting purple first and, you know, decent green middle sectors as well. Fair play to Russell, but our best lap of the race so far is a 12.9. So let's see what we can do. We are almost breaking away from Russell. We are just going to dump DRS. We know we can pull away from him in the first sector, and he won't get DRS next lap, which means we won't need to defend. So let's see what we can do. Let's see what damage we can do with this fastest lap. The gap to Alonso and Leclerc already down from 7 seconds to 5.2, which is quite good within a couple of laps, and we end up setting an 11.3. So that's very nice. And then by lap 28, I know it's been a long time, but not much has happened. Russell's been at a similar gap whilst we've been closing in on Alonso and Leclerc. Closing in on Alonso and much quicker than we are Leclerc. Alonso seems to be struggling with pace. On to lap 30. Tyre wear on these mediums is actually really good, and we are only 1.7 seconds behind Fernando Alonso. And then coming into lap 33 of 35, we are pushing really, really hard now against Fernando to try and get his DRS. As you can see, we just nipped in a second, consistently setting 12.9s, which was my best lap on hards. These tyres had great pace, and they could have gone much longer. So I'm thinking, in theory, if I boxed maybe 2 laps earlier for these mediums, I could be currently chasing after Leclerc for P6. But we've got the pace on Fernando. He's the only man we can catch now, so we've got to focus on sticking with Fernando until the last lap of the Grand Prix and potentially overtaking him then. Because if we overtake him too early, he'll just blast straight back past us on a straight with ERS and DRS, and it won't give us a chance. So here we are on Fernando. We are now within his DRS, and on to lap 35. We are just about within his DRS still. Tyres now maybe falling off a little bit, but here we go. Fernando Alonso, does he have any ERS to combat us? We've got 80%. We've been saving up since we caught up to him. Let's see what we can do. ERS activated. DRS activated. Fernando Alonso is harvesting on the straight, and we're closing in at a rate of knots right now. We're going to go down the inside. Alonso goes to defend, but he makes his move too late. We go down the inside, take the final chicane, and we pull away on the final straight to eventually overtake Alonso and beat him by a second and claim a scintillating P7. Fair play. But Max Verstappen wins again.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently, and it's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be so proud of the victory they've secured here.
So yeah, clearly no stopping Verstappen, but Hulkenberg from P19 to P14 showing that we do have some genuine pace. I got fastest lap in P7. Considering we started on the front row, that should be a poor result, but at the end of the day, I'll take any decent points I can get, and it puts us in a constructors battle now with Aston Martin. But I was convinced Hamilton would win this race, and it was going to look like that up until the final lap when Hamilton was leading over Verstappen and Sainz, who was a P2 for the longest time, and then the McLarens on that strategy, showing that it would have worked if I had been maybe up there with them, but they are there. They don't manage to get any overtakes done, but it's going to be the Max Verstappen show, as on this straight, similar to Alonso, Lewis Hamilton having to use ERS throughout the race to stay ahead of Verstappen is now having to use it. Verstappen's got ERS saved, and Verstappen blasts down the inside. A small little lock-up from Max, but he gets the car turned in, and he comes up to the line to snatch a win off Lewis Hamilton on the final lap. And obviously, this being not real life, Hamilton still has not won a race in this alternate F1 universe since since Saudi Arabia 2021. But for us, we are now in a rivalry with Sargent, which we should win, and we gain stats all round up to 66 focus and 56 experience. So overall, I will be very happy with that race. It was a fun race. It was a race of maybe a little bit of boredom for me to drive because I was just by myself quite a bit, but I had to be consistent, I had to be quick, and it was quite a scintillating chase for Alonso at the end. So I'd like to say thank you for watching, guys. We have now reached our target rating for the season. We should have put it higher, I knew it. But yeah, maybe we do need to increase from 101 AI at some point. But for now, I'll be happy to stick with this through the next few circuits because, you know, it'll kind of be a test of how good I actually am at this game. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.